your point, and they give that plenty. What about the face of Jared Waerea-Hargreaves at the end of it? It'd scare a starving dog out of a butcher shop. This is the New Zealand side lock. Tuivasa-Sheck, Whare, Goodwin, Vanuve, Foran, Johnson, Martelino, Luke, Bromwich, Pritchard, Williams, Mannering. How do they leave anyone out? It's such a dilemma for the coach. Taylor, Waerea-Hargreaves, Nu'uausala and Moa on the bench. That means the likes of no Greg Eastwood, who was part of their cup-winning side from 08. No Sam Cassiano tonight. And the Scotland side, the underdogs, Russell, Scott, Helliwell, Linnett, Hurst, Bruff and Wallace, Walker, Ian Henderson, Douglas, Addy, Phillips, Kavanagh, Andrew Henderson. It's been a tournament of brothers, this one. Wilkes, Sostak and Barlow. What a massive mountain they have to climb tonight. But as Brian Noble suggested in our preview of tonight, and he's with me right now, take it to them. Give New Zealand the unexpected.
Yeah, Scotland have got a decent spine. You look at Bruff and Wallace and Ian Henderson, and Manny Russell has had a super tournament, really strong, and they've got to kick well, Bossy. They've got to kick well to give them some semblance of a chance here, and as I said, let the Kiwis earn the respect.
There was one element of that Steve Kearney was worried about, was in the hearts for Scotland. Danny Bruff, he knows he's got a cannon of a boot on him, and that will turn them around.
Referee is Ben Cummins of the Australian contingent here. Cummins and Ashley Klein will control matches this weekend. Also Henry Perinara and Richard Silverwood will have Sunday's game.
Right to go. Okay, make sure we stay behind the line here. You all right?
Well, this is it. Game number 22 of the Rugby League World Cup. Here from Leeds tonight. And Scotland taking on the might of the defending champions.
Hold here, hold.
Scotland with wins over Tonga 26-24. And they get a first penalty on the second hit-up. A 30-all draw with Italy. And then defeating the USA 22-8, having trailed 8-0 at half-time.
You got there late,
At some point in all three of their matches, they have come from behind to get a result. So that reflects determination and spirit. And the kick's not going to find the line. Nowhere near it. Nowhere near it.
Can't do that.
And Kevin Locke will run it back.
Oh!
Kevin Locke. Maybe that was the tactic. We don't want to run it early. We just want to tackle.
Well, Ian Anderson had words with Simon Mannering on the first penalty there, and then they had a fallout when they had the Warriors together. But it was Ian Henderson that certainly got stuck in player one there, didn't he?
Williams takes a charge into Adam Walker, and he's hurt too. Sonny Bill, it was an aggressive tackle. Now he's come into the game with a shoulder injury, but it was something altogether there on the man we call SBW. He cried out in pain. Referee Cummins was straight onto it, but this could be quite an ugly moment for not just Williams, but indeed New Zealand in the Rugby League World Cup. It was all aggressive, as it should be. Let's not get wrong on that, but it's his neck. He pulled his own head out of the tackle. He was sort of concertinaed in the tackle, in the clutches there of Adam Walker. I know we talk about a crusher tackle, boys, but I don't think that was it. That's just a total accident right there.
Absolutely. He's trying to pull his body through and pull his head out of the tackle, and thankfully it looks like he's getting to his feet now, but a little bit of whiplash.
In one of those moments, that's what they call a stinger. So as your body goes into it, compresses on the disc, it squashes the nerve itself, and it just sends fire through your whole body. And I think he just threw the ball away straight away. He's starting to come around now. He'll be a little bit fragile for a little while. Yeah. Ouch.
Yeah. Well, let's hope he's all right. He's been a big success story in this World Cup, and we want him to continue. Yeah, he's up.
Yeah, that's a stinger.
Big cheer as well.
Those type of injuries, you go into it, it just pinches on the nerve, it sends fire all over your body, and it lasts for about 10 seconds, then it disappears.
You sound like you're talking from experience.
Yeah, I am, sadly. Nobby, you're all right.
Scary moment there for Sonny Bill Williams, and what about that he has to pack into the front row. Mind you, there's no great push there, but that's where he was, and Scotland, on the result of the turnover, have an opportunity overdue. They probably should have had it from the penalty, but now they've got it inside the New Zealand half. This is Douglas, who has been absolutely magnificent for them. Hit-ups and tackles. He has had an enormous work rate. This is Kavanagh with the ball, 30 away from the New Zealand line. As Scotland look to build here and attacking the short side. The man who works the right edge is Brett Phillips. Pretty handy player, 20 metres away from the New Zealand line. And centre field with Wallace keeps it going. Brough decides to kick. He's got it to open space, getting across his lock. And that is good. That's exactly what we called for from Scotland.
Short kicks, open up the space, play for Brough, really smart, rolls the ball through. Kiwi edge defence moves in front of the ball. Brough threads the needle and gives his outside backs a chasing opportunity. Kevin Locke cleans it up.
And that's what Danny Brough does so well. He's been doing it all year long in the Super League, and that's why he got this year's Super League Man of Steel award.
There at the helm of this Scottish side. So line dropout with the Kiwis, and Kevin Locke gets a strike on it. And it'll come down just over the 40-metre line, and we'll get into the next passage of play. And aggressive defence was headed for the sideline. Johnson got in there pretty tough, the Kiwi halfback. Crowd not overly thrilled with the tackle on Alex Hurst. And there's a head on Martellino. He can pull off a shot. One of those players that cried when they changed the shoulder charge rule. Not that he'd confessed to it, but
he wasn't on his own.
Well, exactly.
95% of the rugby league population cried.
25 metres away from the line. Scotland, right-hand side. Brough and Wallace, and lovely exchange of passes. And again, on Russell, they come up with a tackle in off the wing. A man called Manu, the beast. And poor old, it is Matt Russell who has been left like a crepe. It was one heck of a tackle.
Watch this.
Big Manu comes off.
Big Manu.
Bang. And then his head eats grass. Boom.
Oh, that's the one.
That's a double whammy.
Yeah.
Yeah, thanks, mate.
Oh, get that into you, Matty.
Subconsciously, I made a reference to food there, but let's hope that Matt Russell's all right. Our concern was with Sonny Bill. You're talking about a star. I know Brough and Wallace are key playmakers, but boy, oh boy, how good's this kid been?
Yeah, he's strong and he's run well, hasn't he? He's ricocheted out of tackles. He's found some footwork, which if he can stay healthy tonight will hopefully trouble the New Zealand defence if they can give enough ball to make them tired.
He's one of the strike weapons that Scotland have, and they're looking to bring the ball to him. Obviously, New Zealand have done their homework on them. They know exactly what he's doing. Manu's seen the opportunity and come in and caught him while he wasn't looking.
New Zealand ball.
He's with the other Disney characters at the moment. He's not come round yet.
They came up with possession.
The initial impact from Manu Vatuvei, I think he handled that. I think it was the secondary one as he fell over top of him.
These boys can hit, though, can't they? Again, back to Halifax last Sunday. Conrad Hurrell. Boy, oh boy, what a hit he put on Cameron Serraldo. And Paul Cameron, the problem with the pancreas. Ruptured and rushed to hospital that night. When they come in on your blind side and get a clean hit on you, and all the weight they have and the force.
That's why we should admire all these players, Vossi. They're reckless in the man, aren't they? And they bring about such high levels of skill and talent.
And here's another big boy in a team of big boys, this New Zealand side, played by Pritchard. And now the captain, Mannering, well held on halfway, giving a bit of oomph in the tackles. Henderson there, he'll rack up more than 40 tonight. There he is again. He's probably getting close to double figures already. Ian Henderson, Foran out wide for Goodwin. And good first contact by the Scottish defence. Helliwell did well. And Wallace came in. So there's plenty of fire there as Foran will bomb from outside the 30. And getting through was Kevin Locke. He can leap. He'll get a second crack at it. Now it's tapped on again. It's ended up with Luke. I don't know. I reckon it's 50-50. Whether New Zealand have the first try, but if it is a Kiwi 4-pointer, Scotland pay the price for what has crept into the game over the last 12 months or so, and that's letting the ball bounce.
Yeah, it's all right. That's my decision.
Okay, just nice and slow here, and freeze it on the boot. Guy, hold it there. Okay, everyone on the outside is on the side, so just follow that through now, mate, please. So the chasers are on side. We'll need a close-up on the challenge just here. So we get a close-up. Yep, thank you. Nice and slow here, mate. Nice and slow. No, it's out of shot there. We can't see. We've got something a bit wider. Yep, thank you. Nice and slow. That's a couple of miles. Just, can we take that back, please? Just roll that back. Yeah, back that up, please. Yep. So nice and slow now. Just step it. Just go nice and slow. We'll see that it comes off the New Zealand hand here. Slow, and there. Yep. Have we got another angle, side on angle of that, please? So it bounces up. Just watching here, hands slow now, slow, and yes, hits it there. Yep. So that's come off New Zealand. So it's no try, Benny.
Yeah.
Okay. So last tackle with a hand over, mate. Thanks, mate.
Voice of Shane Hayne you're hearing tonight in the video referee's box. And no try is going to be the call. There was no great celebration from New Zealand. If they had have got a try there, it would have been a scrappy one. But again, Brian, what is it about letting the ball bounce in that situation?
If I'm coaching, I'm saying if you can get near that ball, you try and catch it, mate. And that's the job. I think Matty Russell bailed out, and Danny Brough certainly bailed out and left it to Alex Hurst to try and clean it up.
Saw the black wall coming.
I will say this. What about the running the blokes off the ball? Danny Brough took on Sonny Bill. I saw Brett Phillips get in there going like a crab, taking them sideways, but that was missed by the officials. Good luck to them in that regard. But you think if you're giving protection, you're going to have someone catch the ball. Now we've got a penalty for offside. He had played advantage Cummins. So Scotland with a chance to go inside the New Zealand half.
Henderson started well, hasn't he? With the ball and without the ball. As you said, Bossy, he's firing himself out of the gun. He's trying to be everywhere in defence. He's leading this team and inspiration. Obviously knows a lot of the Warriors. Yeah,
and a good player. And played all 3 games for Scotland back in 08. So he brings that experience to this side, and he's the man with the ball here again. And now he's telling the ref what to do. He's saying, hey, pick up that ball. And Cummins does that with a beautiful grubber. Lovely. That was Hunter Paul-like right there from Cummins.
You got the wrong ball.
Would have gone out on the full.
I've seen him kick the ball. Someone in the stands would have called that one.
35 away from the line. Douglas takes them on. He ran into Bromwich, but carts them forward. Scotland laying a platform here. They are doing well early on against the Cup champions. Linnett is the man at left centre. One of the NRL experienced players in this Scottish side. It's a sprinkling right across the park. Big Walker's got the ball. Oh, he had the right arm free too. It came out, but didn't offload. 15 from the line. Henderson and Brough, and then wider for Wallace. Again, they kick early. He's turned Manu around. It needs to bounce on Manu. That is quite the recovery act in front of David Scott. Wouldn't that have been a story if the young man from Stirling scored the first try of the night?
David Scott, go catch the ball. Have I got this wrong? Should he attack this? Have I got it wrong? Because Manu's beaten because he falls over. Go catch it! Another, but I don't know if he can get there. He might be deceptive, the angle of the TV, but go catch it. Go get it. Come on, man. Oh, geez, attack the ball.
You'd like to see him have a dig, wouldn't you? Just to sort of dive for it. You know, he could have slid over from there.
Sometimes with Manu, I will let you know, boys, that if he just tunes out, sometimes I've seen Milk turn quicker than Manu. And that time it was a stumble that almost had him out. So Scotland maintain the rage. 6.5 minutes in. They are playing well as another run with Douglas 15 metres away from the line. They really are ready to rock and roll, aren't they, Scotland here? Brough and Wallace have been magnificent early. Brough offloading. Henderson says, keep it going, brother. Then Wallace, and still on it comes with Phillips. 12 metres away from the line. Pritchard came up to make the tackle. Quickly out of dummy half. Henderson back to centre field. Now they're caught in 2 minds. Walker keeps it alive for Wallace. Brilliant play by Scotland. They're not going to the copybook here. They're prepared to chance their arm, and sometimes that will happen. New Zealand come up with the ball, but I like what I'm seeing.
Yeah, me too. They've got to do this. They've got to chance their arm. The system isn't going to beat this New Zealand team. The difference might. Do something different. Find an offload where you wouldn't normally. Challenge the Kiwis defensively.
And Tuivasa-Sheck takes the run. And Volve decides to go for a run. He ran and he ran awfully hard.
He's still running in the air.
And he ran right. And there's Isaac Luke.
Isaac Luke, here he goes, the marathon runner. He's linked up with Locke. Locke's plenty of speed. Offloads on the outside. Sonny Bill Williams has just bowled them over and sent the pass for Goodwin to score. What about the don't argue from Sonny Bill? He put a beauty on right there. And New Zealand have the first try. They've covered 65 metres.
Classic counter punch. Isaac Luke, we've seen him do that so many times. Kevin Locke, brilliant support play up the middle. Sonny Bill shouldn't pass enough, just gives the big see you later, and well, he won't get an easier score. But here's the danger man. Isaac Luke sees a man down. Kevin Locke following up the middle, finds Sonny Bill on the outside, and Bryce Goodwin finishes off the play.
I'll say this, was that Alex Hurst coming from the opposite wing to get across there. It's pretty game to get there in cover on SBW, and what a lovely reward for the chase.
Yeah, get that.
Yeah.
Who is it? Scotland?
Wow.
Well, we've been talking about it all evening. It's all about Isaac Luke. New Zealanders can get quick play of the balls, punch holes in their line. Isaac Luke will do that all night. And it'll be a long day at the office for the Scottish Bravehearts.
It was a fair counter punch, Fossey. A fair counter punch, because it's been pretty much all Scotland, or trying to be Scotland.
Bryson Goodwin, son of the great Lord Ted Goodwin, as he was known in Australian Rugby League, just a mercurial talent that could win a game. His best days at the St George Dragons, and here's one of his sons, Bryson, representing New Zealand, writing a bit of his own history for the Goodwin name. Now Johnson is the leading goal kicker at this World Cup. Mind you, he's had a lot of shots. They've scored 26 tries, the Kiwis, in this World Cup. 8, and then 10 here last Friday night. We're broadcasting above where Johnson is kicking from in the South Stand here in Headingley. Johnson, and this one off to the left, and I think the Bronx cheer of the crowd lets you know who they're supporting tonight. They can make a racket, can't they, in this South Stand?
Well, here's the forced error on Kavanagh. I think's lost the ball, and a bit of field position, and Scotland get tied up at the ruck, and Isaac Luke's off. He doesn't need an invitation, he just takes it. Good play from Kevin Locke, and Sonny Bill on the right, turning up on the left.
He could have passed there, but what he was doing, he was just testing his neck, just seeing whether or not his neck was, still attached to his head.
Great kick-off restart from Denny Brough. He gets a lot of height on them. And Ben Martellino comes back for New Zealand. Almost went in one side and out the other. And straight away now the up-tempo game of New Zealand. This is what we're seeing in the early rounds. Pritchard pushed the ball. Vaduve has put it down. Russell's onto it. And Russell can step left and right. He put on a little dance right there. A little Scottish jig. 32 metres away from the line. There's some size in this Scottish forward. They won't be intimidated. They'll cop a few hits along the way, but two big front rowers and the likes of Kavanagh to support. They are ready to take it up to the Kiwis.
Hold it now, hold it, Isaac.
20 away from the line. First time ever in a quarter-final penalty, Scotland.
There's some real discipline going on from New Zealand at the moment, and Steve Kearney will be really disappointed with them forcing passes, and I think they're giving away 3 penalties so far.
And no kick for line, the tap taken.
Hold it, hold. Wait for it, wait.
And Henderson now adapting half 11 from the line. Wallace into first receiver this time. Kavanagh running an angle, but he sort of studded his way into the defence, and that made it easy for them. As Martellino was around the legs. There's an opportunity on the left, though, and over the line almost. Williams had to get his arms under the ball. They've called the play it right on the goal line. Scotland throwing all they can. Denny Brough, deft kick, not good enough. And Pritchard comes up with it. Gives Henderson a little reverse somersault for his troubles.
It was like a hydraulic ram hit him in the chest, wasn't it? His Brough just didn't quite nail the kick, did he? Well seen by Frank Pritchard. Got down well for a big man.
You'd call that kick a dink. I think that was a dink from Brough.
Yeah, I like it. I like the word, I mean, not the kick.
I was taught the expression Maduck this week. Is Maduck not used in this part of the world? That's more Midlands, is
a
it?
bit further south. That's Nottingham, Derby way.
How are you, Maduck? Yeah. Not bad, Maduck. It's a great place. Here's Johnson with the ball, Maduck.
Last one,
And
Luke.
tackled
Hold it
just
now.
short of
Wait for
halfway.
it, Ian. Wait.
Tell you more
Wait.
about my
Go.
journeys this week. Boy, oh boy, have I been to some places,
It's okay.
including Headingley Taps before the game tonight, just up the road.
Okay, runs in.
So Scott has the ball. He is a story, isn't he,
Jesse!
David Scott? And so
Hold
he
it,
should be
hold.
written up at
Wait
this
there,
World
wait.
Cup, you know.
Has it been good?
Spotted playing for the Easterhouse Panthers in Glasgow. Just a kid who
Two
took
now,
a
Sean!
love of rugby
Right here,
league
right
the
there,
first
right
time he
here.
saw it. He was playing rugby union,
Go,
but he said, I
Lockie.
like this league game. Now he's playing in a World Cup quarter-final tonight.
Well, he probably carried the ball
Yeah,
more in one
wait
game
for
and
it,
he'd taken
wait.
10
Go,
the
three.
other mob.
So,
Go,
big
go.
run.
Danny,
And there's plenty of support. Bravo intercept by Faray. Was that big walker he had on the inside? He could have heard the footsteps.
One.
Denny Bruffer, a class player, a real superstar. Just slicing through the Kiwis' defence.
Go two.
Good strength on Sonny Bill. There's two of them on the inside. He was
Away from the
score.
ball. Go.
40 metres away now from the Scotland line. Defence into attack for New Zealand. Pritchard, and it's precise too. Goodwin on the inside run. Rolled away there from Henderson. Right up to the 20. Luke and Foran. Mannering was inside. There's trouble here. Locke is elusive. Stands and delivers there for Johnson. Johnson, big step. Last line of defence is Russell.
Hold the line.
2 metres from the line.
Go.
Western end of the ground, and Foran's kicked it in goal. That's a dink as well. And taken dead for a line drop out for Scotland.
Take your hat off, Matty Russell. That's a brilliant tackle on the Kiwi halfback Sean Johnson, because he's got one of the best side steps in the world. Come off the right foot, come off the left foot.
Danny, just make sure the kick's from behind the line.
It was Foran with the kick, and Matty Russell had to clean it up as well and bat it out the back because couldn't take the wrist on. Kevin Locke, I think, was flying through.
Yeah, for our viewers who may not have seen it, watching all around the world,
Right, eh?
YouTube Sean Johnson and touch football. And if you want to see
right
some
in,
stepping from his
Make sure we're behind this line
upbringing,
here.
he was quite a sensation. And he's brought it into rugby league as well, Sean Johnson. And a big line drop out that got the out of the breeze. A little tackle there from Foran. Some of the crowd was saying, that's a knock on Maduck. As Ardelino goes over the top of Peter Wallace.
Go, get up with it.
And this time, Vaduve in from the wing. Look at him go, big Manu. Manu.
Right here, mate,
He's
right
like
here.
a mechanical ball
Go.
hop on for a ride. He takes them for 20. Pritchard and Bromwich now.
Look now.
New Zealand,
Keep coming.
they are now on song.
Go, good.
With ball in hand, 15 away from the line. Plenty want to run. This is
Up with
Foran.
it, up with it. Hold here.
The defending World Cup champs, Luke, they're looking good. Johnson, Williams. Williams back to Johnson, knocked down by Scotland. Play on New Zealand. With it is Luke. They mainly need one tackle. Luke was looking to stretch out and score.
0.
Good tackle. Wilkes got there in defence. Now the ball is with Bromwich. Bromwich has got over. Jesse Bromwich has a test try for the Kiwis. From the Melbourne Storm in the NRL, up in the front row for New Zealand tonight. Cricket for a smile, Steve. That was a good try.
And here's the physical onslaught that tells now in the end. It's a great footwork off his left foot, Jesse Bromwich, and Henderson can't clean it up and gets nice and low and hard and gets towards the line and twists his body, and Matty Russell just can't quite get underneath. But it's just the weight of numbers, the weight of physical prowess of this Kiwi team. Gets his right arm free and slams it down, dragging Henderson, Wallace and Russell over the line.
That's it there, Sean. Thanks, mate.
Straight off to the bench he goes, to this interchange that boasts front rowers Waria Hargreaves and Sam Moa to be thrown out there. I mean, you got Jared Waria Hargreaves coming in off the bench. You got Sam Cassiano sitting up in the stands. It may be the best front row rotation in the history of rugby league to have 5 front rowers that you could start with easy, any one of them.
And whilst Sam Moa's probably the smallest in stature, gee, he goes north to south pretty well, doesn't he?
Go tell him he's small.
I'll leave that to you, Bossy.
Johnson kicks it out of the ground, right over the top.
With Sam Moore, though, he's as wide as he is tall, though.
Yeah, listen, if you want to measure him sideways, I'm cool with that. He fits.
He's a boulder.
He was a member of the Tongan Mafia over here, wasn't he, when he's 3 seasons at Hull?
Let's see the finish from Jesse Bromwich. Too big, too strong, I think that's the expression. You mentioned the word crepes before, Bossy. That's French food. Oh, of course, you've been in France for a while.
I have, yeah. This time last night, I was at the Monte Carlo Casino down in Monaco. I tell you, it's not a patch. It's not a patch on the Three Pigeons in Halifax. They may think it's great, but, you know, they've shot the odd Bond film down that way. They should get themselves to the Three Pigeons in Halifax. That's my advice for the next one.
Did you have the tux on? And
here we go. I think we'll go back to the football for the moment. Pritchard. I don't win. I won a few Euros. Here's Luke with the ball and stepping. Oliver Wilkes, welcome to the game. He's had no end of running at him. He's only been on a couple of minutes. They've picked him out. Got to be ready to go, don't you? Pritchard to centre field. And then Mannering feeds it along to 4 and loving this. Although Williams' ball was loose. Scooped up, beautifully done by Farre. And then Tuivasa-Sheck. He may be the best stepper out there. Maybe on the planet. Roger Tuivasa-Sheck. Leaving them behind. And now to Williams, world biggest 5'8" there. Passing it on to Waria Hargreaves, who was wound up in the haka. 15 from the line. New Zealand with Luke, and Johnson steadies himself. Knocked down by Wallace. Play on, Scotland. Well done.
well done, Peter Wallace. They needed the ball there, didn't they? They're just looking terribly threatening at the moment, New Zealand. The run of Sheck, he was like one of the X-Men. He's not a rugby league player.
So Scotland come out of trouble. Even Luke. Here was the kick from Johnson, the cover up from Wallace. Happy enough for that to be play on. And the battle continues for Scotland. They've got to try and get that energy back that they showed in the first 10 or so minutes here. But under assault here. Douglas takes them on, runs at Luke. And then, I don't know about the tackle, the third man in. Martellino there dived in. Last tackle. And Brough does his best to get him out of trouble with a long one. Manu's underneath it.
Thank you.
Outside the 20, here he comes. Manu running back.
Okay, and now.
I love the guy.
Imagine that coming at you.
Go. One.
Yeah. And then Tuivasa-Sheck's come in from the opposite wing. Everyone's keen. They want to show what they've got here, and they've got plenty. Pritchard.
Release.
They do well, Scotland, to prevent the offload. Wilkes was there with Helliwell. They're in a game of football. Waria Hargreaves goes over the top, leaves his size 15 boot and a few defenders.
Hold it for 4.
15 from the line. Luke, Kiwis, 2 tries on the board. They've now got 28 for the tournament. Johnson, there's an overlap, it bounces nicely, and Roger that. Tuivasa-Sheck scores in the corner. Pass on the bounce, but was still good enough. And this New Zealand side, length, breadth, width, whatever, they have an attacking arsenal like few other teams in the world.
Well, it's the bounce pass that gets him in the end. Farre misses out on the ball, and Tuivasa-Sheck's not going to miss that opportunity to finish the play. But they create the numbers on the fringe. 4 and goals at the line, followed by Johnson. And whilst he doesn't quite execute the pass to Locke or Farre, Tuivasa-Sheck picks up the scraps, and the scraps are good enough.
What are the defenders supposed to do in this point in time? They've got Sonny Bill Williams, they've got Simon Mannering moving at speed, and then you've got Sean Johnson out the back with a lineup on your edges.
Yeah, good man. Thanks, Ben.
The expression is do your best. They just had the numbers as well. So, and it was the plays earlier. It was a Hargreaves play at the middle. He splashed 5 defenders out of the way, which creates a space on the fringe.
It does. All the defenders have to start sucking in and pulls out. All the defenders, the Scottish line just comes in. You've got 5 metre overlap on the sideline. You've got a player like Roger Tuivasa-Sheck out there.
Well, Henderson's getting the Hannibal Lecter-like bandage applied right at the moment. On this day at the 2008 World Cup, New Zealand played England in a semi-final up in Brisbane, Suncorp Stadium. They won that 32-22, if you want to follow history and stats. And tonight they lead Scotland 14-0. We will have Australia versus USA and England versus France for you tomorrow. Double header of action from the Rugby League World Cup. Johnson He does a lot of kicking practice with Daryl Halligan, one of the greats and one of our commentary team, and Johnson wayward with that one. So 14-0, 3 tries on the board. You're talking about your stars at this World Cup. There's another Brian Roger Tuivasa-Sheck right from the very first game of the tournament.
Yeah, he's been outstanding, hasn't he? And he sees anything near looks like the whitewash, and he's going to get there either with footwork or speed or power. Superstar in the making.
Stay behind it.
By the way, he's only 20. There's one of those high restarts again from Brough. And Foran onto it on the 10. Plays his football for the Manly Warringah Club in Sydney.
And
the grand final appearance, yet another one under his belt this year. So Kiwis in possession and taking charge of this game through 22 minutes, but it hasn't been easy. But what we've seen of Scotland was good. What we've seen in New Zealand's even better. They've treated their opposition with respect. And now they're showing all their skills as well. Here's Waria Hargreaves losing it. A double juggle. And then lost it. And Russell comes up with the ball. And that's one of the features of his play. Straight away, always looking to turn defence into attack. Loves the broken field stuff. So Scotland have an opportunity. 30 away from the New Zealand line. Brough finds himself a dummy half. And Big Sam Barlow's out there now. And Mannering and Williams there with Johnson to make the tackle, but they creep up closer. Henderson goes right. They're flatlined this time. Wallace, out it comes for Wilkes. Defence again solid, but 3 there. Again, there's respect from New Zealand. They're trying to do all the little things right, the Kiwis, as well as the flair. Switch of play from Wallace. Centre field it comes. And Luke locks his arms around Douglas. 15 from the line. Still a few tackles there for Scotland. And Brough has decided to kick before the last. And that is a feature Locks play.
Great bravery.
He is the worm. He is the worm of fullbacks. He's very good at covering the ball on the ground, Kevin Lock.
The Verm got across and showed great bravery. He just walked from above because the bloody white shape charging down him. He gets his body in between him and the ball and
bring it back in the
great
middle.
clean-up.
See, Locke's in a position where he knows Sam Tompkins is coming to the Warriors club out there in the NRL next year. He holds the #1 shirt at the Warriors at the moment.
Hold it for 4. Go, good, you're good.
And a ball with Pritchard. Goes high for Mannering. There was a chance to spread it. The captain goes through the centre. Still may have been an offload. And off overlap on the right-hand side. Foran kicks from inside his half. Under a bit of pressure. Scott is back there. And Scott looks up and sees Luke.
Well, he's one of the little blokes. He's not allowed to do that, is he? Luke, I mean.
Well, I'll tell you, from the younger days with Luke, he used to practice his goal-kicking, his defending technique, tackling goalposts, running at goalposts. I think it was his dad that put him through the routine to toughen him up.
I think they call that abuse over here.
Did he stop doing that when the goalpost sidestepped him?
Brian Noble and Robbie Hunter-Paul in commentary tonight here at Headingley Carnegie Stadium. Marvellous venue. What a place this is. Sam Barlow with the ball now. History at every corner, every nook and cranny has a story to tell at this complex. And Scotland, another kick to that corner. And the worm goes across to it. Did he get a little boot to it? I don't think so. No, back to the 20. Worms don't have legs.
It might have been a little bit disappointing there because Scotland had a 3-on-2 when Danny Addy kicked their ball there.
Keep going, keep going.
Tuivasa-Sheck in for the tap.
I don't think it was a bad play if he executes the kick well.
Wait for it, wait. Go.
Well, I like that they're keeping them guessing. And we asked for that right from the top of the game. New Zealand don't know what kick's going to come next. It might be a high one next. Williams with it. Leads the individual offload count. New Zealand going into this game, 50 offloads as a team from 3 matches. It's a fair rate, isn't it? Johnson now just using that second phase football all the time, second and third phase.
It's just the confidence that they're playing with. They're oozing confidence, aren't they?
Sam Moa's now out there. He took the previous one. Waria Hargreaves offloaded. And Mannering keeps it going along here. Goodwin's having a good night. He's done really well there to Foran. Then back to Frank Pritchard. Frank the Tank is on the march to score the try for New Zealand. But just scintillating rugby league from the Kiwis, really. Great skill, great hands. And Frank Pritchard scores. Kearney's got the poker face tonight, but he's holding all the aces.
Well, it's the big go-forward play by Hargreaves again. Releases Isaac Luke on the offload. We were talking about their second and third first. Goodwin on the inside to Foran, and Frank doesn't have much to do there, Pritchard, does he? Except finish the good play. Here's the money ball. There's Hargreaves. Isaac Luke missed pass to Mannering, who gets the ball away to Goodwin. It's Foran who got it to Goodwin, and Foran follows up his own pass, and good halfbacks, two players in the play, and Frank Pritchard on the line.
That's it. Look at Frankie. Watch him lift his knees. He's charging for that. By the end of the night, he's run 70 metres. 70 metres for that.
Well, I can't call it an awful put down, but it was sort of awkward, wasn't it? It's almost like he didn't realise that it did the splits. He
doesn't know what to do when he gets over the try line. So what am I doing here?
His groin went over the line first, if you know what I mean. You know what I mean? I don't mean the particular part. I mean the way he fell to score there. If you watch the replay again, the way he put the ball down.
What are you saying, Bossy?
He was frightened to do it.
I'm saying it was awkward. I'm saying it was awkward. I'm saying don't try that at home, kids, what Frank Pritchard just did.
I feel awkward now.
Here we go, Johnson with the kick. We'll try and show it to you again. I'll try to get myself out of this hole that I've dug. I'm about 12 foot under at the moment. Johnson's only landed 1 from 3 tonight. He's into the breeze in this first half, but he's right down the middle that time. So 2 from 4. 20-0 scoreline. He had a big night a few weeks ago against France. Got 24 points, Johnson, in that game. So all we're waiting for the put down here to try and help me out. Please be awkward. Please be awkward, Frank. Here he goes.
Go, Frank.
Now watch, is he going to slide in? See what I mean? He goes on the net. You know what? He was going down that way.
You know what he's frightened of? He's frightened of doing a Sonny Bill. He's trying to get it towards the back end and falling over.
Good observation.
Grass beans.
Maybe I could have described it a little better than that. And Bruff's restart. He does get some height on those kicks. Denny Bruff from the set piece on the tee.
Wait there, Luke. Wait. Go.
New Zealand with the ball. Entertaining first half, no question. The defending champs are sending out a message to Australia tomorrow and to England saying, we hold the cup. You're going to have to take it off us. You're going to have to do more than just turn up.
3 now, leave him. Hold here, hold.
And Scotland doing their level best just to stay in touch here, and they've played all right. Don't worry about that. Waria Hargreaves has got another touch.
That's 4.
That time they get the big fella to ground.
Go.
Send Barlow in there, and here is Williams who can step and run. Sonny Bill on to Johnson. Good night. Johnson sprints away. Well, if only he was born in Scotland, it'd be Sonny Bill McWilliams, but not tonight. He's playing for New Zealand proudly and sets up a try there with his sublime skills.
I'm trying to get a bit of a fly, but you can't keep crowding in the rough, all right? So
well, he's just seen a hole on the inside of the outside of Ian Henderson. He can't get back, and he's too good. He's too quick. He sidesteps, and Sean Johnson has a clear run in on the back of Sonny Bill's break. But there he goes. Right foot step, left hand fend. See you later, Ian Henderson. There you go, Sean. Have a free try.
Wadia Hargreaves and Samoa are punching massive holes into the Scottish defensive line. They're starting to tire. Ian Henderson's done a hell of a lot of tackling over these first 30 minutes, and that's what Sonny Bill Williams has recognised. He's seen a tiring player step back on the inside, palm off, and then you got Sean Johnson backing up like every good halfback should do.
Story emerged this week about that man on camera, Sonny Bill, that he may call it quits all codes at the end of 2015. That might be it for the footy career. Gee, if his body holds up. I mean, he just names his price, or just names where he wants to play in the world. I mean, he's going back to rugby at the end of next year, at the end of 2014. But, you know, France, Japan, they'd fall over themselves. They'd throw money at him.
He wants to box, doesn't he?
Well, he's the reigning heavyweight champion in New Zealand, but all that's on hold at the moment. He was meant to be having a mandatory defence, so I think he'll have to let that go. And Johnson's kick, there's another 2 to the tally. 26-0 now. Oh, come on, Steve. He must be really cold. You've got to a little more relaxed. You can't look like that.
Watch this. He comes off his right foot and he beats Douglas, I think, who's tired. The other tired bloke in the middle is Ian Henderson. He gives him a handoff that knocked the snot out of him. He just honestly got rid of him. You can see that it's flying everywhere. He just bang. And it's Sean Johnson won't get an easier try, will he?
With a beautiful turn of phrase. Former Great Britain player and coach. He's at home. Oh! Manu Veyer's run over the top of Peter Wallace. Get an ambulance. Manu still upfield. Then he overruns Thompson. And now they'll call it obstruction. Well, he obstructed 4 defenders on the way through. He indecently absolved them.
And he's gobbed off as well to boot. He's told him, no, you don't know what you're doing, ref.
Oh, I'm just looking. Look, the CSI people have come out and put a chalk mark around where Peter Wallace was knocked over here.
Oh. Fly, look at him.
Russell gave him the turnstile.
Oh. He wanted to get the ball to Sean Johnson. Sean Johnson was on the fly.
Well, that's one of the...
He would have scored.
That is one of the great runs you'll ever see.
I think Sean Johnson just overcooked a little bit. He had the winger tracking him back. He probably just needed to pull off a little bit. Let Money draw and pass.
Sostak's with the ball. A Sheffield Eagle out there for Scotland tonight. They're 20 metres away from the New Zealand line. They've had a bit of field position this first half. Just need to convert it to tries. There's a confidence builder going to half-time. 7.5 remaining in this first half. They know they are playing an awesome football team here. I reckon bookies might change the favourites for the World Cup after this. Ball with Barlow just a couple of metres away. Henderson, dummy half. Nuasala will be penalised.
Too long.
So, full set of 6. Can start right here. Henderson. Barlow wants another crack at them. And Luke is there with that Mannering, the captain. Henderson to the right. Scotland chant goes up. Wallace, long ball. Scott and over the sideline. Well, no one was going to get that.
Yeah, well and truly.
Manu just gives the little man a tap on the head, Scott.
Yeah, no,
nice moment.
I'll adjudicate. If I can't move, you need to move quicker.
Wallace is trying to give him a bit of space to have a crack. And
hey, you were holding him on the second one. You were, so.
Degree of difficulty, if it was like gymnastics, would be high for that play for him.
Held onto the ball, yeah.
Well, news here, Sonny Bill, he's on the bike. He's also got the ice pack on the back of the neck after that earlier blow. No, unscheduled pit stop. What do you think? But the intentions have been to take Sonny Bill off the field at some point. There's the ice pack.
It's pretty valuable to the team, isn't he? Both iconically and what he brings to the team and his prowess alone. Gosh, he's got some skill.
Here it is, here it is. Yeah, you're good, you're good.
So New Zealand with it. And just outside their 20. 26 still, 5 tries in this first half, 3 goals. And inside the final 6 is now, well, we've got 2 Frank the Tanks. Got a team of hyphens here too, don't we? Greg Paul Nuasala's out there now.
Go 3.
Luke, and there's Jared Waerea-Hargreaves. And on it comes for 4, and there is Johnson. Almost intercepted. Almost, but not quite. And it was an opportunity for Alex Hurst, who scored a good second half try against the Americans.
He did, and Johnson's put the speculator. Hurst is in the line, and
he had a piece of it.
Yeah, he should have picked it off. Just 2 hands to that, and he's gone.
That's good, mate. Just keep that tunnel clear.
Tell you, Roger Tuivasa-Sheck as well. He saw a world of grass in front of him.
Let's go, Scotland. Just wait here, Danny. That's good.
So scrum.
Okay, good in, mate.
40 metres away from the New Zealand line. They've switched all their players to the open side here, and here is Roger Tuivasa-Sheck. That left foot, it's dynamite, isn't it? How good's the step? It's exciting. You know, young kid. He could play another couple of World Cups after this, maybe 3 more.
That's 2. Come on, mate.
Forget the scheduling, right? Roger Tuivasa-Sheck.
Go.
Luke now. They're inside the Scotland half. Johnson out in front. That's been put down. Now he gets his intercept. And then has lost at Hurst. No advantage there.
Yeah, both ways.
And they'll have to call an end to all of that. But it fell into the lap there of Alex Hurst.
So you were in the casino at Monte Carlo?
I was, yeah. Yeah, I just thought I had to go there. I had to get a little trip in, and it opens at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, as I learnt, because I went up there at 1. And I stood around beside a Lamborghini for an hour out the front.
Dickie bow tie?
Well, I had a jacket on. I made sure I had the jacket, and I went in there and said my name's Boss. And
yes, you're the new Daniel Craig.
They said a big pardon, who?
Up straight.
And anyway.
Get up.
It is. Look, put it on your bucket list. If you've never been there, just go there for half a day. I could have died there and would have died happy.
Back now, hold
They
it.
could have put on my headstone. He died in Monte Carlo, a happy man. And the ball's with Ian Henderson, Solstak. But then I missed the quarterfinal, the rest of the World Cup. And that would have been disappointing.
Release now. It's 4.
Because we've got one heck of a fortnight coming your way. Henderson back centre field and across it goes. Long ball for Brough. Brough's offloaded. Wallace kept it going. Linnett decides to do the same. But Hurst, he was on a different path. Touch judge was a better chance of catching it. 26-0. 3 to go first half.
Well, there's a few long balls here. Long, and something short has to happen after that. And Linnett, yeah, they're not on the same wavelength, is he?
Keep working on that 10 boys hold for us on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
After a while, it gets difficult teaming white shirts because you see a black jumper out of the side of your eye and you think you're going to get belted, so you're making players up. And you need to hold the nerve a little bit here, Scotland, and get back to what they did well for the first 10 minutes.
Supporters from all around the world have come into tonight's match. It's not just New Zealand and Scotland fans, but
back here, 14.
a number of Australians here that are following the World Cup. We've had the Americans come along. Here's Jared Waerea-Hargreaves. 2 Kiwi fans, though, that we met tonight from Alexandra Park. Good trotting community in New Zealand. They're here among the fans. They've flown in to catch the last couple of weeks of the World Cup. Now Luke to centre field. Moa and Foran and Johnson. Look at the shape of the New Zealand attack. Then Faray does the flick. Tuivasa-Sheck's got the ball. Here go those dancing feet, baby. He's 15 from the line. He moves. His shadow struggles to keep up with him as Johnson passes it to Foran. Then to Pritchard. Over the top. And Big Manu on the wing. Now sets them up to come back infield for Locke. 10 metres away from the line, and Scotland doing all they can to stay in the battle. It was a good tackle from Henderson to finish it off. Foran's bomb across field is well fielded by Hurst.
Great catch.
Good stuff by Scotland.
They've gone left to right, right to left, up the middle, tested Scotland's every facet of defenders, and they came up trumps there. They've handled that one, and they get a penalty to boot.
Robbie, just for skill, and you've watched New Zealand sides all your life, is this the best team you've seen? And I'm putting it above the 2008 World Cup side for skill.
I think individually, man for man, yeah, across the board, probably individual strike weapons that you have in this New Zealand team, they can do it all. And I don't think we've ever been able to enjoy that level of talent before.
The size, the stepping, the offloading ability of this side, a dummy half, a 5'8".
If you look across the 17 players, if you look across those players in the bench, they're also the strike weapons that they have back in the NRL as well.
Wait, Sam, go 3.
I can't believe you're not bleating about not having Benji Marshall. You must be a good team.
For Wallace, quick hands from Russell, on it comes, and Helliwell, and now it's gone over the sideline again. Gee, I think Scotland need an 80-metre wide field. Although we've got a penalty back in the middle of the field here. Might have been a shoulder charge in the middle there. Scotland get the penalty 35 metres out. That's the signal that I detected from Cummins may have been for some sort of shoulder charge there. Late tackle maybe.
Just wait there,
So final seconds, you almost kicked the goal, don't you?
Yeah, I think you would.
Just get something on the board. No, that's the mentality. Let's go to try. Let's not just play for pride. Let's try and have a real dig at them. But it's one play. Henderson, centre field. Wallace, here comes the kick. Gets it across field, but the Kiwis have got it covered. Johnson went up. And so ends the first half here at Headingley Carnegie Stadium. The first of the 4 quarterfinals. And the defending champions are making quite a statement here tonight. In big, bold print, New Zealand 5 tries, leading a game Scotland side by 26 points to 0.
Coverage brought to you by BetDAC, the sports betting exchange.
It's a boys rip in, and what he said going to half-time, enjoy this. I mean, this is history for Scotland. First quarter-final, they're playing the Cup champions. How about we try and put a dent in them in the second half? give them something to think about.
I think that's their ambition. Have a dent, leave a mark. Ian Henderson's out there having a good old time here. Having a good laugh. They've got their heads on.
You could argue that actually over the rounds, New Zealand have fallen asleep just after the half-time by the opposition that have come up. Samoa come up, fired up, come out after half-time, absolutely lay into the Kiwis. They dropped off, got distracted, as Brian said. PNG, similar. French boys, similar. They all had something to say after half-time.
Been a tournament we've had so many stories to do with brothers. I guess this could be the last time Ian and Andrew play together on the same side, the Henderson brothers.
And they're fiercely proud Scots, trust me. Fiercely proud to represent Scotland, and probably will be the last time they play together.
Sonny Bill Williams on the bench still for the start of the second half, and it maybe won't be used in the second half. Second half is now underway, and there's one of those high kicks from Denny Brough. It'll hold up in the breeze. Good luck catching it. Johnson gets it. He's a beauty, Denny Brough. Pat Richards is the best you've ever seen for kick-off restarts, but Denny has mastered this kick with a hang time, and now that he's kicking into the breeze, anything could happen. He could break the plane at the 40-metre line in a strong breeze and have the ball land on his own 40. That's how deceptive he could be. He really does hoik it up there. So New Zealand with the ball to start the second half, and Foran, they're going to push it along to the edge, and Pritchard inside. Support players spot on all night. Goodwin there on that pass. Already 5 metres inside the Scotland half. Scotland seemed to get through the first half without any serious injury. This is Nuasala. He's got 3 tries next to his name in this World Cup already. Foran's kick back to centre field. Russell stumbling back, comes up with it. Can't fault Russell's game too much tonight. Big improver through this World Cup. Don't know about that pass. That was untidy, to say the least.
He threw an unexploded hand grenade there, didn't he?
Back with Addy and Scotland making heavy weather of getting out of their own 20 here to start the second half. They really need something to go their way. Maybe a crack to appear in the New Zealand attack, and an early drop ball as Linnett's now got it for Scotland. But it's been a pretty standard set of 6 from them, only back as far as the 40, and now they'll have to launch the kick downfield, and Brough is the man who'll supply it off the left boot. It's headed Manu's way. Vadove's on it, and here he comes. He started to get the head of steam up.
What are you thinking if you're a Scottish player defending that?
He's yours.
You throw a sporran at him, see what happens. You lift your kilt up and say, have a look at this. There you go. All right. Tuivasa-Sheck's got one of those runs, left and right foot shuffle. Just short of halfway for New Zealand. 5 tries in that first half. The metre is ticking. 31 tries for the tournament for New Zealand. 8 game 1, 8 game 2, 10 game 3, and now 5 tonight in the first of the quarters. And there's been some real pearlers among them. Johnson inside there for Moa. Sam Moa, who had represented Tonga before representing New Zealand here at this World Cup. Last tackle, Johnson kicks under a little bit of pressure. It's a wide ball from Sean Johnson.
So everything right for the Kiwis other than the kick. They've got out, they've put their players on, their structure looks good, they look attentive, and then this has taken the wind. And
good kick pressure by the Scottish player there. Danny Addy coming up. Got out act in half. Knew what was going on. Put a little bit of pressure on Sean Johnson. Just wasn't able to get a clean kick to the ball.
We'll try and get a report on Sonny Bill Williams too, to see if there is any mail on whether he's going to sit out this second half or he's going to ride the bike for 40 minutes, as Henderson's got it back to halfway. So he goes into the back row when his brother comes on. Andrew produced 35 tackles against the USA, a game that Ian missed. And this is Addy. Talking of tackles, Addy had a count against Italy, got up to 49 tackles in that 30-all draw. Mountain of work from Danny Addy.
He's been a real find in this tournament. He's really matured as a Super League player and as an international player as well.
I agree. And Brough here to Wallace. Cut out ball, and there is a chance for them. Helliwell decides to run hard at Goodwin. Last tackle it is. They want it out on this left-hand side. Arms are up. Wallace is going to deliver the kick. Doesn't quite get the legs. Brough has knocked it back. Now there's a chance over the top. Finds no one. Hurst has gone back for it. Keeps it alive, Hurst. New Zealand will pick it up. Brilliant stuff by Locke. They've just lacked the finish, haven't they, Scotland? It's been frustrating.
It's just that final ball that went to ground. You see the Kiwis have been going to hand, and they get the ball here and he bats it back, and there's 3 white shirts there and he avoids them all, and Hurst has nothing to do but throw it back in field, and Kevin Locke picks up the spoils.
And now Luke, 5 inside the New Zealand half. Look at the speed that they can put on in the blink of an eye, and Goodwin tackled 45 away from the Scotland line. There's impressive skill on show tonight. This is Sam Moa. He's offloaded. More of the offloading skills. Pritchard across field like a halfback. Mannering then the step from Farah. You're seeing it all. Then another offload back for Mannering. This is Pritchard with it. A dummy and straighten. Pritchard offloads in turn. Superb play by New Zealand. 10 metres away from the line. Wouldn't that have been some sort of try? What about the work of Pritchard? Johnson out the back to Locke. Locke, and oh, doesn't quite find the hand of Roger Tuivasa-Sheck. Fare's flick.
It's great skill to get into this part of the field, and Fare just can't find out the pass to Tuivasa-Sheck. He's attracted his winger, he'd done out all the hard stuff and just couldn't lift the ball enough for a finish for Tuivasa-Sheck.
One of the things that I'm really liking about this New Zealand team is that they can play the unconventional play, they can play the hot potato type of play and then fit so seamlessly back into running their structures. And that's what we saw there. Just the last pass didn't go to hand.
Geez, the lead up to that play was impressive, that you almost thought that Tuivasa-Sheck might have taken it on the boot, kicked it back to the man inside, then flicked it over the head.
Oh, what's wrong with him?
But, you know, when we just say in the run about the play of Pritchard there, but he's jumping around. He's 110 plus kilos, and he's got the one-handed carry, and he's throwing it around. He can flick it around the back. I mean, that's ridiculous, really.
It shouldn't be allowed. It should be against the rules of the game, shouldn't it?
That wasn't allowed in your time, was it, Nobby?
No.
Couldn't have guys that big that had that sort of ball skill.
Yeah,
Footwork.
guys that big, but they couldn't move very well.
No, they were bouncers. There's Wallace. Oh, Wallace. Oh, yeah. He's trying to hack us over the sideline. From Peter Wallace. I don't think we can blame the wind, can we, for that?
He's having a little laugh at himself.
Their long passing game's been a bit of a problem tonight for Scotland.
Yeah, I think they're trying to go to the fringes pretty quick without. It's easy for me to say. You've got to put a dent in this New Zealand line, but you run at them and you get dented yourself.
When they were fresh in the opening 10 minutes, that's what they were doing. They were punching holes and playing off the back of it.
Boys, let's get a report on Sonny Bill Williams, Natalie Quirk. Natalie?
Well, you saw Sonny Bill Williams come off after about 30 minutes, and you saw him with the ice pack as well. He's got a very sore neck, is what we're being told. I think a few of them are a bit aggrieved that they didn't get a penalty. He picked it up in the opening few minutes of the game, so he is off as a precaution. They're not saying whether we're going to see him again, but I think with the scoreline as it is, I wouldn't be too surprised if we don't.
Yeah, and maybe further to that, we're seeing Elijah Taylor run on now for Isaac Luke. Might be time to put some of these players in cotton wool. It's a 26-0 foreign, and that's no disrespect to Scotland whatsoever. But, you know, this is a World Cup tournament, and you do have to have one eye on what's coming up. As Taylor goes high, great hands, Johnson, Locke, just bats it on, Fare, Tuivasa-Sheck, one step, spin, turn, and can't force it. Held by Linnett, right on the line, Fare, and then back Moa, and Johnson's kick rushed. He's got it between the posts. In this game, it's worth nothing. And it's 26-0 and a 20-metre restart.
Everything brilliant about the Kiwis, other than they're probably their last players at the moment. They've had a couple of kicks now that have gone out on the full, and give Scotland credit, they've caused a little bit of pressure on Johnson for the couple of kicks. Ouch.
Yes, and there was the rush kick, bit of pressure on him. That led to that. It's all good. Johnson's put one over the sideline, now one over the dead ball line. He'll be a bit filthy on himself. Henderson goes left, and Phillips, Johnson's there to make the tackle. Phillips is able to offload, and Russell, he's not an easy target, is he, when he gets the ball, Matt Russell?
Strong, very strong and good feet.
Going to be good value next year in the Super League. The Solstack 30 away from the New Zealand line, but it is the last tackle. Brough is going to launch one, and he kicks it back to the wing. He's a sneaky bugger, isn't he? It bounces up high. That's a sneaky bounce. It's play on for Scotland. Wallace is in the vicinity. They want a kick. They've hurled the ball back. Russell's got it now. Gee, if Kiwis are going to let Scotland run, they'll end up on their own goal line. Brough throws a dummy. Now brings Leonard inside. Kane Leonard decides to kick. It's taken on the full by Tuivasa-Sheck. And look out! Roger Tuivasa-Sheck is off. And Roger Tuivasa-Sheck will sprint away and score an outrageous rugby league try. First the play of Scotland, then the finish of RTX. There's so many hyphenated names in this side. Roger Tuivasa-Sheck scores it, quite miraculously so.
Well, Brough offloading, Linnett down the sideline, gives him the open catch is all you have to say, and Danny, just leave Danny Brough for dead and Linnett for dead, and then just run, because nobody's going to catch him. The foot race, and it's a mismatch.
What can you do there?
Gone.
That little goose step there, just floats in the air and then just kicks on. On that single step, as soon as he comes down on 2 feet, boom, he kicks on. You got about 3 meters on that one step there. Does a little goosey and then boom, explodes out of it.
Tell you another thing about him, he's a lovely kid. I spent a bit of time with him, did an interview for our New Zealand viewers for Sky Sport New Zealand down in Avignon. Took him out in the street for a walk around, and you know, he was soaking it up. He was really living a dream, and talked about family and the support he's getting, and what a year he's had. You know, grand final with the Sydney Roosters in the NRL at 20 years of age. He actually had more runs of the football in that grand final than any other player on the field, Roger Tuivasa-Sheck. And what a future he has. Just 31 NRL games under his belt. Spectacular try on test debut in that first match for the Kiwis up in Warrington. And again, he's just got this deadly step and a smile on his face. Seems to enjoy every moment. Johnson gets another 2.
Watch this. This is the kick the other way. Trying to test out Manu on the reverse kick from Danny Brough. Pete Wallace keeps it alive and comes to Matty Russell, and he beats somebody single-handedly and gives it to Danny Brough. Danny Brough takes off with the show and go, and he's gone. Linnett on the inside. He's trying to kick into the corner. I know what he's trying to do, but see you, Danny. Gone.
And Danny Brough is no mug as well. He is good on his feet.
Short kick off from Brough. He's hit the back of the head of Danny Addy. They've come up with it though, Scotland. And he got into dummy half, and Henderson. Walker, give Walker a rap. He chased Tuivasa-Sheck as good as he could. The big fella, the big front rower. No, he wasn't going to get him. More a chance of getting a date with a supermodel, but he still put in. 20 away from the line. Apologies to Walker, I don't know. He's got a good-looking girlfriend, apparently, and the ball's come loose, and Pritchard's onto it. Here he goes, hopping about again. Foran's over the 30, and they collar him just shy of the 40. Counter-attack from New Zealand is lethal tonight. Absolutely lethal. You know, alarm bells go off, and the crowd's only up on the feet the moment the ball turns over. And Nu'uausala is with it. At 32-0. 13 minutes into the second half. First of the quarterfinals. Now with Bromwich. He's one of the first half try scorers. He's athletic too. Jesse Bromwich. Elijah Taylor, dummy half. Foran left side. There's the shape we talk about of New Zealand. The build-up's good. Vanuve's offloaded. Good one. Keeps it alive over the top. Locke's got it. There's another one coming. Yes. Manu stretches over to score. Ben Cummins wants to check it with Shane Hayne. But I think New Zealand, they have another try.
Something down the sideline there.
You have an opinion?
Okay, so we're just watching the feet and the ball. He's got it there, feet. Can we go back one, please? Yeah, go back to that. Back. Okay. Yep. I think that his foot's on the line, mate. I've got foot on white there, so yes, mate, he's gone out. No try. No try. Foot in the touch, mate.
I don't have that shown, but he's the video referee. What do you think, Brian? I didn't. I thought up on the toe.
Yeah, I think it's a tough call. Foot on the line. I think you see a bit of green between the line and the boot.
I'll say this, Shane. I do like the fact that we reach a decision reasonably quickly, rather than look at 8 replays on it.
Yeah. Make a decision.
I think he's wrong, though.
Not going to affect the outcome, but.
Robbie, your call. You
well, I think, interestingly, we didn't have a look at that side. And actually, when you look at it there, it just looks like his leg, his foot kicks out a little bit. But I'm with you guys. I got to admit,
it kicks out a little bit. Or
no, but the reality is, I've got a black and white shirt on underneath this jacket. You see?
Yeah, we'll tell the truth sometimes.
Okay,
No.
Here it is, Simon. Go, good.
I'll tell you one thing it does highlight, though. You know, we see on the right wing, two of us check footwork, speed. And then on the left wing, you got Manu Vatuvei, pure power. And that's what New Zealand brings to the table.
The thing that most impressed me at the start of this second time, every time there's been a bounce ball from Scotland, Kiwis are just coming back 60, 70 metres with offload flurries. The way they're converting the ball is incredible.
Go 4.
And Scotland, well, there's a good walk off the mark by Henderson, and now his brother Andrew is almost ragdolled there in the tackle of Whare.
Go. Put there.
He was close to halfway, ended up close to the 40. Oh, there's the long passing. Oh, brilliant hands by Big Alex. Got to the Brock ball, and now the kick downfield. Kane Douglas has put, or rather, Luke Douglas has put that in. And it goes to Manu Vatuvei. What about Luke Douglas's kick? It's a perler. Wonderful stuff by Scotland.
He chased it as well, made the first tackle.
Gave his brother a mention there, Kane, who's a Wallaby. Australian Rugby Union ranks as a penalty goes to New Zealand. What is that penalty count? New Zealand, we had it 7-0 to Scotland in the first half. 55 minutes there, and Ben Cummins blows one the way of New Zealand.
So, Vossi, does Manu bother with a sidestep at all when he's carrying the ball out?
Sidestep? No, it's nothing more than a shuffle. It's nothing pronounced from Manu. I mean, when you're that size, you're happy to run over the top of them. I can tell you he plays the trumpet pretty well, though, Brian. I'll just throw that into it. Plays the trumpet, does Manu? True story.
Really? Push it out. You've pushed it out.
I think he would argue that that's the Tongan sidestep.
That's it.
Cool, mate.
Bit of Jonah Lomu about it, as New Zealand, having waited 55 minutes to get their first penalty, wait another 20 and get a second.
Well, I think Frank drops that called. It's just a loose carry. He's adjudicated that it's a strip.
Just that line, boys, line.
Just before it gets out of our memory completely, Alex Sostak's pickup of the Brough pass off his shoelaces was pretty impressive. Been some good individual moments for Scotland tonight. Mardelino to play it, 25 away from the line. 6 tries New Zealand have scored tonight, but only 1 in the second half. And this is Bromwich with it. 15 from that Scotland line. And a pass comes up, Mardelino strode through, and he must have thought, this is it, this is my big moment. Ball down from behind, Foran Pritchard. His ball work tonight has been as good as I've ever seen it. Frank Pritchard, Goodwin offloads, Manu Vatuvei, he'll get the try this time. They can't take this one off him. Manu scores again here. Another test try, another try in the career of a real star player of the rugby league world.
It's just the speed of the ruck that they're playing at. It's hard to handle. Mardelino gets over and his hands to the fringe, and for all intents and purposes, Bryson Gunn's going out here with 3 Scotland defenders. He tips the ball back inside to Manu, and just too big, too strong. Watch this. So he's going out to the sideline. No, I'm not. I'm going to get rid of this to Manu Vatuvei, who just plows his way over. He's a runaway tractor on that one. Plow, plonk, plow and plonk, Robbie.
I think that's just... I think Manu's probably feeling that's just deserved for what happened, 2 minutes ago, 3 minutes ago. Thinking to himself, yeah, you know what, everyone else is getting on the scoreboard. It's my turn now as well.
Another try to Manu Butterback. Well, you know, Stephen Kearney, come on. This coaching caper, Brian, was it ever fun for you? Like, is it similar to getting a hot poker in the backside? What's the story?
Well,
where's the fun?
At times, that's probably the right description, Bossy, at times, but I wouldn't. In the main, it's some smiles. Stephen will be smiling. Inside, he's smiling.
He's smiling.
He's smiling on the inside, Bossy, and he's thinking, we're going all right here.
Yeah. Johnson's got a kick from wide out. 5 in from touch. 36-0, still going through the drill. All of these kicks are going to be vital from here on in. Not so tonight, but next week at Wembley, they're going to be the first team to advance to the Final Four, the Cup champs. And Johnson's missed again. Not getting it right, 36-0. A shout-out, too, to one of the little clubs over here, the Milford Marlins. Come across one of their representatives today, the Milford Marlins, who always looking for numbers to get involved. How would they have got a nickname, the Marlins? I can't imagine there's been too much marlin up Leeds way, has there? Much marlin fishing?
It may have come from the East Coast, but it's way out of place. I can't think marlin. You'd think more of the Caribbean, don't you, really?
So they're just down the road. They're from Kirkstall, where they got the Kirkstall Abbey. Here goes Brough. He's produced a kick. Oh, he's kicked it high. I don't know how he does it. It's an amazing restart. He's hurled it up into the air. It's almost gone as high as the light towers. Just goes over the 10. But yes, the Milford Marlins. Good luck to them. Hope they have a good season in 2014. And Mannering now with the ball for the Kiwis. The captain has done what he's had to do tonight in this team of stars. Now Martelino offloads back to Taylor. Look at the skill again. They're trying their hardest here, Scotland. They've stood in the line of some heavy fire. They have chased and scrambled, but what do you do? How do you stop the skills here? And Wallace fell off the tackle. That wasn't such a good attempt. Last tackle, New Zealand. 30 away from the line. Back it goes to Johnson. He decides to launch one as well. Johnson's kick. Hurst is there. Batted forward, I thought. Scotland had got it. No advantage, so change over at the 10.
It's just a kicking deal between Brough and Johnson's tried to launch one here, hasn't he? And said, I can kick harder than you. And causing all sorts of problems for both teams, you have to say, to be fair. But clearly a Kiwi hand on the ball knocked forward there.
I think Shaun Johnson and Kevin Locke just having a little word to each other, because every time he launches the ball, Kevin Locke is flying down the field at 1,000,000 miles an hour.
And another turn with the football as we get into the final quarter now. For Scotland, they're going to make their exit from the World Cup, but they can say they've made the final 8 for the first time. This is their 3rd World Cup. Had only won 1 game before this year's event, and that was in 08 against Fiji. And here they are, Wallace across to Denny Brough. Seen enough of Denny to know that he can carry the title of superstar next to his name. And where the likes of Sam Tompkins are leaving the Super League next year to go to the NRL, Brough will still be there playing for Huddersfield. Here he is, left foot chip over the top. Here he is, regathering. Thank you, Danny, right on cue. Kick out the wing, just needed a bounce. Oh, what a player. Danny Brough, superstar, breaking up the New Zealand defence.
Great chip kick. Regathers as well. He's just sprint, regather, puts it on his toe pretty much straight away and trying to release his outside backs, and unlucky. Great skill.
And to tell all the rest of the viewers from around the world, that is not a freak play. Danny Brough has been doing that all season long in the Super League. He sees those opportunities, he's got that X factor about him, put the ball into space and can create havoc.
Actually, wasn't one of his best performances, was right here against Leeds earlier this year, where the Giants give Leeds a real touch-up. Yeah, super player. So New Zealand scrum feed inside their own 20. And the hard work begins again for the Scotland defence with 18 minutes to go. And Elijah Taylor sends Martelino, who wasn't there for the first game, and you thought Martelino was the prop forward on the edge. Cassiano had him covered, but he's earned his spot. And I just don't see him getting him out of there now. I think he's going to be one of the 4 front rowers they use. Here's Waria Hargreaves. Short of halfway. Taylor and Bromwich. And Roberts, I think, has cemented his spot as well. 4 front rowers have all done their job tonight for New Zealand. Foran's going to bomb this time. Look at this kick. How do you catch these? Fair dinkum. Scott's underneath it. Does extremely well, Scott. In the biggest moment of his life. The former Easter House Panther.
You mentioned Marlins in Milford. Do you think Easter House have got Panthers?
No. Well, that's a good point too, Brian. You throw one. I think there's more likelihood of a Panther than a Marlin floating up one of the canals or something around here.
But you can understand Marlin a little bit because it just doesn't have the same ring with the Milford cod.
Yeah. Never thought of that. Back to Brough inside the 40. He's got distance on it. Now he needs the bounce. Danny Brough, you're a bloody champion. How good is he? He's kicking into the breeze. He's landed a 40-20. He's a sensation.
And he's enjoying himself.
I think the crowd can smell something as well. They're getting in behind this Bravehearts team as well.
Nah, it's a chip butty they can smell. Don't worry about that. All right, here we go.
Chip butty.
Chip butty and some haddock. It's coming floating across from Hull. Just all the lovely smell wafting across from the east. Maduck. All right, Scotland. I'm just getting all the lingo. The patty, the Maduck. I mean, it's all the language across. You can't keep abreast of everything. In Leeds, they say, blokes are calling you love. Here's the ball. And Russell was with it. Faray there.
Where have you been in Leeds?
Oh, I'm just saying, other parts of the country, if you call a bloke love, you get bashed. 15 away from the line.
Well, you will in Leeds. It's further south, I told you.
Yeah, well, that's it. Sorry. Henderson, Brough, 15 away. Wallace, and they build up, and then Madalino said, you're not getting through here, pal.
Don't work him. Oh, they're hard.
Henderson, crowd just over 16,000, 16,207 in fact, as Brough on the outside, Leonard, here it comes, Hurst will score! Yes, indeed! Scotland have scored the try, burst out the bagpipes, throw another haggis on the barbie, Scotland's on the board!
Well played, the Bravehearts. Take it to the line, and Brough finds a U-Butte pass to Kane Linnett, and he's just has to release Alex Hurst. This is a fabulous ball from Danny Brough. He's kicking Seals to the 4, releases his centre Linnett, and Hurst finishes really well in the corner. Well on the Bravehearts, into the corner.
As soon as he put that ball down, this whole stadium just erupted. And I was talking to Isaac Luke last night, so you're looking forward to the game. He said, to be honest, it becomes quite an intimidating place to play at because we're not the favourites here. The underdogs are always the favourites.
And that is, yeah, you're right from the opening game. Warrington, as I called them, the Samoan Warrington Wolves played New Zealand. The crowd just got behind Samoa. It was the same last Friday night here. The fans got behind PNG, and obviously New Zealand ran into a bit of a firestorm down there in Avignon as well, 17,500. But that's not to say that the league folk here, they're appreciating what they're seeing from New Zealand, but we're all happy for Scotland to get that try, and they deserve it for some hard work. Come on, Danny, knock over the kick now. Danny Brough, not so. Curls right across the face. 36-4. Second half is 10-4 with 13 to go. Let's watch it again. The try finished off by Hurst, who was magnificent against America.
The great ball of the line from, I think it was Douglas that got him going, then Brough, the great miss pass, and in at the corner.
A try against the World Cup champions. Good stuff for Alex Hurst. His stats against the USA, he ran for 214 metres, the winger. New Zealand restart play. Isaac Luke's back out there for the Kiwis. The ball came loose. Obviously now we're not going to see Sonny Bill Williams return in this game. Suffered that neck injury in the first half, and he had a bit of a shoulder complaint coming into the match as well.
So here's a question, Bossy. Is my little theory holding true about the Kiwis in the second half? It's the third time we've watched them.
Yes. So you wanted to see killer tonight, did you? Want to see killer punch?
Yeah, I wanted to see ruthlessness.
Now Danny Brough stepping back just outside the 20. Making a claim, isn't he, for Golden Boot and Rugby League International Player of the Year, Danny Brough. This is the last time we're going to see him in 2013. It's a nice lasting memory to give us. Here he is here, stepping, and then pumping the kick downfield. Goodwin, Brough was aiming for between his legs and he got it. Good stuff from 50 metres downfield. Crowd like that from Bryson Goodwin. Kevin Mock for the Kiwis. He's a live wire. Watch it again.
Wait till he plays it. Go.
Clean ball, he should have been next door.
Now Tuivasa-Sheck stepping again. Tuivasa-Sheck fending again and stepping again. Then hit high. And a Hurst tackle. Cummins says, don't worry about it. Now we may get a little report on that one. That's one way to stop him.
Look at this. Left foot, right foot, strength, speed. Beats another one. Hands off another one.
I think it's his leg.
And tries to head off. Alex Hurst.
Yeah.
That's a bit. That's high.
Take a souvenir from the World Cup. I'll take Roger's head. Some blokes just are happy to swap jumpers. He wanted his head.
Can't run without your lips. Tell you one thing about Tuivasa-Sheck is he's fast, he's got the sidestep, but he's not a little bloke either. He's big.
No, he's growing. He's still a growing boy. And the first 15 metres of that run, he wasn't on balance. And then he's fending off blokes that are 100 kilos and he's stepping as well.
Bossy, it's unnatural. You know, whatever we say, it's great to watch. It's very entertaining. Just some people, the Tomkinses of this world in the England team and Inglis's, they do things that we pay to watch.
No, I just need to get back there.
So another exciting run from Roger Tuivasa-Sheck, and now we get the penalty. Well, it's hard to know how Ben Cummins didn't see that at the time, but anyway, got the right result at the end. And Sean Johnson to kick the line. New Zealand have had their line broken. Now they need to reply to that. 36-4. There's still a lot of talk out there.
Wait for it.
I think Stephen Kearney, it's been hard to get a smile out of him. I think he wants his team to finish off right now. Johnson, Luke, on it comes. Bromwich with the ball right in front of the Scotland posts. Tackle number 1, 15 away from the line. Tomorrow afternoon, it's an early start. 1 o'clock local time at Wrexham, north of Wales, as Pritchard. Silky skills, ball skills tonight of Frank Pritchard. Really has delivered some classy passes. Locked on the end of that one. Here he is again. Pritchard throws it on to Martellino. That one might have been forward. Not so silky. 5 from the line. As Scotland, the Bravehearts, defend bravely here. Luke up for Foran. And Johnson is lurking. Johnson to Locke. The little men combine. And Locke is held up. Linnett gets over the top and throws him down. 10 away. Tackle number 4 for New Zealand. Game stuff from Scotland. Laria Hargreaves with a match long gone for them. Still they defend their line. Last tackle, Luke Foran, a bomb, a kick across field. It's high, it's high. Oh, what a take! What a beautiful take, Bryson Goodwin. I mentioned earlier, Lord Teddy's father could do some remarkable things on the football field, and that was Lord Ted Goodwin right down to the bootstraps.
This is a brilliant catch. Scotland defend their line really well. Comes to Foran, who pinpoints the kick above Scott, and Goodwin is the guy out there that just leaps. Leaping salmon. We've been mentioning fish, and that's a leaping salmon. He leaps out of the ground and wham! What a catch above his head as well. Great catch.
Just too good, Robbie. Just too good.
Building up to that, I think Manu Vatuvei will be a little bit disappointed. He's left the field. He'll probably be thinking, oh, you know, that would have been my second for the night. But brilliant timing. Got up at the peak of that jump, plucked the ball out of the air, come down safely with it.
We actually watched the warm-up tonight. Kieran Foran doing those kicks, didn't we, before the game, and he's kicking them into the breeze, and everyone was spot on. It was 5 in from touch and just short of the goal line, giving me a chance to catch it and leap, and there they pull it off in game time, in you know, under pressure of defence.
And it's hard to criticise Scott in any way, shape or form, because they're just too hard to defend. He's not the tallest bloke, Scott, so he's not going to out-jump Bryson Goodwin, and Bryson's got the run on him, so he's coming from outside to him, attacking the ball, but he's caught it on his fingertips. It's a terrific catch.
Great setup as well. They punched 3 times into the Scottish defensive line. They sucked them in, which created that space on the edge. Kieran Foran, pinpoint accuracy on the kick, and like we said before, perfect jump and catch.
I'll have to do a quick head count now. I'm not sure whether New Zealand's going to finish this game with 12 men as Johnson lines up this kick. I think they've still got the 13. Johnson's missed another one, so a bit of work to do for him during the week at 40 points to 4. It's 8 tries and 4 goals tonight. There you go, perfect range for him again. No accident that happens.
No. Straight from the playbook.
Will take part in a lap of honour around the pitch. So the fan groups don't go anywhere.
So Denny Brough, here he goes, one of these kicks again, hoists it up there. Denny Brough, here it comes, down it comes, batted back by Leonard, they get the result. Douglas with a step, Loki Douglas. Douglas is 15 from the line. I would pay just to watch Denny Brough take kickoffs. They're spectacular. Wallace down with the ball. Russell gets those feet moving. He's only 13 from the line. Second tackle for Scotland. They will try until the end. They can be proud of the effort they've put in. Wallace dumping it off inside, and suddenly New Zealand find themselves defending their line. They're almost in a position to put the cue in the rack for the night. Henderson hasn't knocked on at dummy half. Got tangled up, dragged down by the jumper. That's a bit rude from Madaleno, dragging him down like that. Here's Denny Brough. On it comes. Phillips out in front of Leonard under pressure. I don't think his heart was in that one to catch it, Leonard. Worried about the defence coming up, Dean Whare, and give Whare a rap for it.
Yeah, they've been very aggressive defensively, haven't they, the Kiwis, and that's been a plus of their performance tonight, I think. They've been defensively very strong on the fringes, making good decisions, and it's been tough for the Scottish team.
Can you talk us through the kick-off again, Robbie? The skill, the placement of the ball on the kicking tee, the practice that goes into it.
It basically sits vertical. I mean, you know, horizontal, sorry, and he kicks it right underneath. The ball actually comes out 15 metres and then travels back 5 metres. It literally didn't get over too far over the 10-metre line.
Kiwis have possession again. There's Pritchard again. Gee, hasn't he had a spring in his step tonight? Big Frank spinning about the field and all sorts and all manner of steps and passes. Now Waerea-Hargreaves with a strong charge, almost back to the 40. Front on was Douglas. His tackle count in the 30s again. Strong front on hit there on Bromwich. They're trying to hang on. It was Phillips. They've kept it alive here. Johnson. They rushed up quickly there on Nu'uausala. Nice work. They're still trying. They're doing all they can. Hurst came in off the wing. Luke runs off. Thought he had them offside. He has got them offside. High tackle, the call, in fact. And we can tell you that man of the match tonight, it's been voted on. Roger Tuivasa-Sheck gets a man of the match award for the Kiwis. So they've had Dean Whare in game 1, Sean Johnson game 2, Sonny Bill Williams game 3, and now Roger Tuivasa-Sheck will get the man of the match medallion. Another big moment for this young fella. Whare restart, free kick, Johnson, Luke. Centre field they come. Sam Moa again wants to bump him off. 40 to 4, 4.5 to go. And this is Kevin Locke. He may have got a little bit of benefit from an obstruction from Pritchard. Over the top for Goodwin. One-handed pass, and they've said thrown forward.
I've got to ask you, Vossi, you were in France this last week, and you were doing the James Bond impressions in Monte Carlo.
I went Perpignan to a place called Provence des Beaux, which is, I was told, a French village from our French comrades, our commentary comrades. Rodolphe told me to go there. Beautiful little village. Then on to Nice, and then a little trip around along the coast, the Mediterranean coast, around to Monte Carlo. Yes, what was your question?
Well, frog legs or snails? on your food trip of Europe?
Well, I've got to say, my food trip's been pretty boring this week, as Scotland have the ball back over the 30. Actually, they had Japanese last night in Nice, so there you go. Confused the issue. And I think I had Italian the night before, so I got no idea. I've lost all idea. Looking forward to Curry tonight, though, at midnight, as Wallace gets an offload. And Douglas has ended up with the ball. And Akbar's in the centre of Leeds. You get these big things called elephant ears, the naan. I'm going to go home the size of an elephant if I keep going back there. Kick downfield from Henderson over the top. Could get a bounce to Scott. He's got it on the legs. He's gathered it in, Scott. He's almost rattled it over the line, pulling it in from all angles. Would have been remarkable play for Helliwell and Scott down that right-hand side for the Bravehearts.
Ian Henderson with a chip kick. Scott puts it on the toe, regathers, tries to find Helliwell on the inside. He just can't gather it in. They've been brave, the Bravehearts, this second half, haven't they? They've had a crack.
14-4 second half scoreline after 26-0 first half, but you know, you're watching their effort they're putting in defence, with New Zealand still running at them and still playing a lot of football. Hasn't been New Zealand clocking off tonight. They've still tried to play a lot of football at Scotland, but they've run into a side that wasn't prepared just to go away, just to lie down and die. They've kept at the cause as we get to the final 2 and a bit minutes. Another run from Bromwich. This is Luke up left with Pritchard. He just looks fit. Big Frank, really, really good. Zersey spot on the starting side for New Zealand. Maria Hargreaves wants to run. Big Jared offloaded. Oh, put down in support by Luke. Great offload and run from Jared Maria Hargreaves. Scotland now counter. Danny Brough. Swamped there by Jared Maria Hargreaves. On halfway, Scotland. It'll bring the house down if they can get a second try. And in fact, there's a penalty. They'll get an opportunity, certainly, in terms of field position. In fact, they may well have the last set of 6 of the match, just over 60 seconds remaining. Brough will find the line, 35 metres out. Kick onto the roof of the North Stand. Do they ever come down, those balls? As Henderson takes a run at them. Henderson suddenly thought he was 120 kilos.
He saw that all his career.
15 away from the line. Wallace, they've got depth about their attack, but angle it back infield. New Zealand present a straight line. Stephen Kearney, coach, wouldn't want to try concede it here. Wallace and then Douglas back to Brough on the outside. Russell straightens up. The hole closed quickly. Luke was there. Now with 35 seconds remaining. Brough from 10 away. Douglas wants to get a one-hand around the corner. Can't do it. Might have been on there for Phillips and Leonard on his outside. 5 from the line. Russell to Brough. Gets one of those dinks in. Bounced off. Bit of luck there for Nu'uausala. Throws it up for Luke. And New Zealand attack from inside their 10. Why not? Faray now with the ball. Back over the 20. That will be the last chance for Scotland. Moa will take this run. Sam Moa to centre field. Tackled on the New Zealand 30. 8 tries to 1. And the first quarter final is all but over. Luke, they're going to have one last attack. Luke, a dummy. Taylor wanted it, doesn't get it. And now you can pull the curtains across on this one. 8 tries to 1. The defending Cup champions, superb, absolutely superb in patches. Scotland, the Bravehearts, gallant. But at full time, that scoreline is big. New Zealand 40, Scotland 4.